because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncers' guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Andrew McCart, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm here with my good friend Josh Taylor, it looks like he's still on holiday, but he's actually in Scotland, believe it or not. How's things, Josh?
I'm all good, mate. I'm just tanning up here in the back garden, just chilling, enjoying the sun in the back garden, you know what I mean? So, I just obviously still a bit fucking gutted for the weekend and stuff, and obviously going over it in my head and stuff, but you know, it is what it is. I've been over it 100 times. I can't change what's happened. It is what it is. I'm just pissed off that, you know, with the performance. I just thought I started off well and then just faded, mate. I just had nothing left after about 5 rounds, had nothing left. The legs were gone. I was just kind of just on autopilot after about 5 rounds. But apart from that, I'm all good. I'm just chilling out, relaxing, and then get back on the horse and get out before the end again.
Definitely, that's good to hear as well, Josh. Obviously, going back to the fight there now, this is the second fight that you've mentioned to me that the last 2 fights that you've had, you've mentioned that your legs have gone round about the mid-fight, round about that 4 or 5 round. What do you put that down to? Is it the weight cut? Is it being at 140? Have you went to well, in your own words, you went to the well too many times at 140. Is that the case in these last 2 fights?
I think a mixture of aye and no, Andy. I mean, this time I actually done the weight really well. I felt nice and strong still at the weight, but I think it's just a mixture of things, you know. Again, put a bit of pressure on myself because I'd been out the ring for so long. New team, new this, so there's a lot of factors, you know, but I'm not making an excuses. I just wasn't good enough on the night. That's it. And it's not the fact that I don't even think he was that good. I think it was more than what I never done rather than what he did do. Started off nice and quick and fresh and started off to the game plan. And I thought, man, I'm going to stop this guy here. And then I just strayed away from it. Then the energy level started dropping, and then I just kind of strayed away from the game plan, and he adjusted better. You know, I actually don't think it's not him that won the fight. It was me that fucking lost the fight. It was more than what I didn't do than what he did do, because he actually did do everything that I thought he was going to do. But I just wasn't there on the night. Unfortunately, I never had the energy levels. But no, that's it. I'm not making any excuses. I'm not making any, you know, it's this or that. Just he was better than me on the night, and that's it. So that's all there is to it. And that's all there is to it, mate. The excuses, I mean, there obviously is some factors in there. Well, the 2 weeks while we were at New York that contributed to the sort of, I would say, the tiredness and lack of energy. But I'm not making excuses. It is what happened, and fucking that's it. Here we are now. We're moving on. We're back to the drawing board. See what's happening. See what options are out there. And I'll look to be back out before the end of the year.
In Scotland, Josh, or abroad?
Hopefully in Scotland. But you know, we'll see what it is. We'll see what options come and see what fights come and see what happens. See what happens, mate.
You said see what happens. Is there any chance you staying at 140, or is this it? Are you just writing off 140? You've done everything at 140. You've held every single belt at 140. You've fought everybody at 140. Is it time for you now to go up to 147 and sort of make a charge at that welterweight division?
I think so. Well, the next fight, I mean, if I'm staying, I'm going to stay at the weight. It's not going to be championship weight I'm doing anyway because it's the fight title. I don't know. I'll probably move up, to be honest, more than likely. You know, I've not made my mind up yet. I mean, it's still pretty fresh and still pretty sort of fucking pisses me off, you know, because it's not the fact, like, I just know I'm 100 times better than that. And honestly, honestly, on my night and the way I was performing, like in the first 4 rounds, it was bloody working, and I just got too excited, but the energy levels just weren't there to keep the game plan up. So it's just, we had the gate game plan, and I actually watched the first, I think, 7 or 8 rounds the last night, because I wasn't sleeping last night, so I'm still a bit pissed off. But I watched it last night, and I thought, fucking hell, man! Like, just, you could just see my energy levels dropping, you know. But that's what it is. I'm not making any excuses. It is what it is. What happened. He was better than me on the night, and he got the win. So congratulations, and obviously I would love to see it again, do it again, and fight him again, and I beat him with a relative ease, I think. But a lot of football say, you're mental, you got this, you got that, but it was actually quite a close fight. The last 2 rounds obviously gave away, but it was actually quite a close fight, I believe.
Josh, you're saying that you're not going to make any excuses, so I won't make any excuses as well, but I will mention this, that I've known you for a long time. I've seen you in the gym, the Commonwealth Games, how fit you were and how strong you are. But it seems to me that when you fight, you've got good leg movement because you're Taekwondo background. You're in, you're out, you have fast hands, you've got good reflexes in terms of, you just need to look at who did you fight for the Commonwealth title? The South African guy, Joe Bell. Yeah, Warren Joe Bell, when you step back, backhand, same as the Ramirez fight, step back, your reactions were quick. Do you know what I mean? Do you feel like, obviously, with the weight cut now, obviously, you're not making excuses, so I made an excuse on my podcast. I said that your legs aren't there because I feel like you've went at the well too many times at 140, and you've got good legs because of your Taekwondo background. Is that what you feel like your legs?
I think it's a mixture of that. Listen, Andy, there's a few contributing factors as to why that happened on the night. But listen, it's not an excuse. What happened, and I'm not making excuses. I just wasn't there on the night, and that's it. You know, there's a few things that I'll discuss with you off the camera, that what it was, that I believe are like sort of telling factors about a lot of you adding up. The accumulation of these different things added up, and it caught up with me on fight night. One was the media obligations on fight week. I was from pillar to post on what fight week, doing this and that, sort of sleep and things like that. It was just be things like that, all contributed to me feeling tired, and obviously the weight cut as well. But I actually made the weight relatively comfortable, Andy, to be honest. But having said that, I do think maybe it is, again, 1 or 2 too many trips to the well at 140. But I'm not making any excuses. I mean, I had a great camp. I trained well, prepared really well, was performing really well in the gym. And how you were saying there with my leg movement and all that, and sparring, man, I was putting away high level sparring partners, and I've done it 2 or 3 times in camp. Knocked over and knocked out a few sparring partners. So I was performing in the gym. I just never carried it out on fight night. And that's all there is to it. I'm not making any excuses. I'm really not going to be that guy making any excuses. It just wasn't there on the night.
Do you feel like the pressure's been taken off you now that all the belts are gone, and that sort of pressure of being undisputed and defending all these mandatory challenges and doing this and doing that? Do you feel like the pressure's off you a little bit now?
A little bit. I mean, I would just say, I didn't really feel the expectation or the pressure. I was just putting the pressure on myself as to, I need to keep winning. But I firmly believe, me at my best and me performing on all cylinders, firing on all cylinders, nobody lives with me. But having said that, it's been the last 2 fights now where I've been pretty pish. So it is what it is. So I'll be most likely moving up to 147 now, where having said that, I was performing in the gym and performing really well, and I was about 172 kilograms, when my last couple of spars in New York weren't very good because my weight was coming down in that. So maybe that is a wee bit of a telltale sign, but I did make the weight really well. Felt good, didn't kill myself to make the weight and stuff. I'd had the diet on point. Had everything on point, you know, so I've no excuses, Andy. I was just crap on the night, and that's it. That's all there is to it.
Josh, and obviously, you spoke to me once when I was mentioned. I remember we done an interview, and I mentioned you used to write down Josh Taylor world champion, and then when you became world champion, you set yourself another goal to become unified. Then you set yourself another goal to become undisputed. Yep. Now, once you've done everything there, is the next goal 2-time world champion? Is that the next sort of goal in your head? Two-weight world champion. Sorry, not 2-time. 2-weight.
Absolutely. When I move up to welterweight, my goals will be to become an welterweight, dip my toes in, and see what happens after it. And I'll be chasing big fights. I'll be chasing the big fights at welterweight. And let's not forget, like, I'll still be a big welterweight, Andy. Mm-hmm. I'll still be a big welterweight. I'm huge for 140, but I'll be big for light welter. I'll be big for welter as well. I'm touching 6 foot. I walk around about 74, 75 kilograms. So it is only 7 pounds I'm putting on, but that 7 pounds is going to make the world of difference to my energy levels.
It's half a stone, Josh. For people that don't know the pound system, it's half a stone, which is massive. Do you know what I mean? When you look at the 147 pound division right now, we've got Terence Crawford and Errol Spence be fighting on the 29th of July. I'll get your thoughts on that fight at the end of this one here. That'll probably be my last question. So normally when we get an undisputed champion, unlike yourself, they do go on and vacate the belts and maybe move up. I know Errol Spence and Terence have spoke about going up to light middle. So for you, stepping into that 147 pound division now, is come that end of the year, highly likely all 4 of them governing body, all them belts will be fragmented. They'll scatter. They'll be vacant. So, is that sort of the ideal scenario for you? Is to get a ranking at 147 and then make an assault on one of them titles come beginning of next year?
Aye, absolutely. I'll dip my toes in. I'll get a decent fight at 147. See what's happening, and then make a move. You know, I'm not going to say things here, but my goals are obviously to become a world champion again. So I doubt that'll be at 140 because I just don't think the energy levels are there anymore to make the weight. I mean, I can make the weight, but it's performing that's the difference. But there's no excuses. Honestly, there's no excuses. I made the weight really well. Carl Evans, my nutritionist, done a fantastic job with my diet and my plan. Had a great refuel. Put the right foods in me every hour. I was drinking and eating and drinking and eating and drinking and eating every hour, putting the right things in me, and I'd done everything brilliant. I'd done everything good. It was just me on the night. That's all it was. Just me on the night. And I had no energy after about 4 rounds. But listen, I'll be back at welterweight, and I'll dip my toes in, see what comes my way first, and then I'll be looking to chase for titles, obviously. So that's the plans. Absolutely.
Good stuff. Good to see you're still hungry for it as well, Josh. But I was speaking to somebody today, and somebody in the gym, Dom, and we were talking about who could you fight at 147, and Conor Benn's name came up, and I was like, I would love that fight. Can you imagine yourself against Conor Benn? I mean, what a fight that would be. Both UK.
It'd be a great fight, especially if he can make welterweight at the minute. You know, now he looks a bit big now. He was just the other day. He was 154 or something on his one of his posts. 154. He was looking at. But I mean, that's right. I mean, I'd love to give him a good spanking after everything that's been happening and came to light and stuff. So, but we'll wait and see what happens. Absolutely. I mean, I'll fight absolutely anybody, Andy. I'll fight anybody. I'm not scared to fight anybody. So I'll see what happens and see what comes my way. Like you say, I mean, I'm a big name in the sport. I'm a former, fucking hate saying that, former world champion. So I'm no short of options. So um, whatever happens now, it's a good fight. There's good fights here for me. So I will see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Josh, what do you say to the people that say that going off your last two performances are saying that you're done, you're finished, there's no way you can come back? What do you say, sort of like the haters, for lack of a better word?
I can let them say what they want. I couldn't give a fuck. Couldn't give a monkey's what anybody says. I know what I'm seeing in the gym. I know what I'm feeling in the gym. My team around me know. The people around me know what I'm capable of and still doing. And I know I'm still at the top of the game. So fuck everybody else what they think. It's I couldn't give a shit what they say or what they think.
What do you say to your fans though that travel? Obviously, I was there in Vegas, and you spoke to me when you won the undisputed title that you were upset that you couldn't bring the traveling fans with you to Vegas, but you managed to do it in New York. So, I mean, loyal fans, man, what did you say to them?
Listen, just thank you very much for the support. You know, it means the world to me. On the Sunday, there was a few fans that come travelling over, spent their hard-earned money to come and watch me. Obviously, never got the result. So on the Sunday, I went to a bar, put a bar up that I was going to on my social media and stuff, and loads of people turned up. All the guys and ladies that travelled over turned up, and as a way of saying thank you to everybody, I put a few quid behind the bar and let them have a drink on me, as my way of saying thank you for coming over and supporting me, because it means the world to me. So it was great. I mean, on the Sunday, obviously I was gutted and devastated, like, dealing with the first loss in my career, and my first loss in 11 years. So it was a tough one to take and a bitter pill to swallow. But they all made it a great day, and we had a good celebration and a good party, and made me feel like I was still the world champion. So we had a good night and good celebration. Well, commiseration sort of party, and they made me feel great, and they helped me through a bad time, because if I don't think on the Sunday, if I hadn't done that, I'd have been really in a sort of bad place, because on the Monday afterwards, that's when I really started feeling a bit down and started feeling a bit fed up, and it's sinking in that I'd lost my titles and hadn't performed to my best. So a lot of the fucking feelings and the emotions started creeping in on the Monday, and when I got back, when even still the day, it's almost a week on, but I'm still really hurting and still really sort of thinking it over and mulling it over, but of what I could have done better, and what I know that what's really annoying me is I know that I'm 100 times better than that. It wouldn't hurt quite so bad if I knew that I gave my best shot and got beat. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is. So, the fans and the travelling support more than made up for making me feel a little bit better. So I just want to say thank you very much to them, and we had a good time, and they returned the favour of supporting me. So thank you very much.
Josh, I'm extra pissed off now. I didn't go to New York. If you put money behind that bar, I'm pissed off now. I'm even more pissed off.
I know, it was good. I'm not all bad, Andy. I'm not all bad.
I know you're not, mate. I know you're not. I've still got that Hugo Boss t-shirt you bought me in Vegas, mate. So I know you're not all bad. One final one for me then. Obviously, I did say that I would get your thoughts on it. Errol Spence Jr. against Terence Crawford, 29th of July, undisputed at your possibly new weight at 147. Talk to me about that fight.
I think it's a great fight. It's a really, really good fight. I mean, it's one that's been on the cusp of happening for a couple of years. I really like Bud Crawford. I can't see past Bud Crawford. I just think he's got all, man. I just think, you know, he can box on the back foot, the front foot. He can be aggressive. He can be smart. He can outthink you. Orthodox southpaw. Just got it all, man. He's really good. And he's filled into the weight now as well. So yeah, he's a really good. I can't really see past Crawford. I really like Spence as well. I mean, for me, they're the two best guys in the division. I just think, you know, Crawford's got a little bit more to his game, but I do think it genuinely is a 50-50 fight. So I'm really excited to watch it both as a fan and potentially a future opponent down the line if they both stay at the weight. I mean, I reckon whoever wins will probably move up to 154. But obviously potential future opponent as well. So I'm really intrigued in it.
Definitely. Well, Josh, listen, that sun is shining. I'll let you get back to getting that barbecue fired up and enjoy the rest of that sunshine. And listen, thanks so much for your time, mate. I was pestering you all week, so I do appreciate your time as always, mate. Enjoy the sunshine, Josh, and hopefully I'll catch up with you soon, brother.
No worries, man. Cheers, Andy.
Hey, Josh, thanks, mate. Bye now. Bye-bye.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,